Good morning, guys. This is Food by Faith Garden to Table, and welcome to my dining room. So, you know that we have all been doing the spring 2023, letting everyone know the different things that we are planting, what we have going on in our gardens right now. So please take the time to go out and watch some of those other videos from the rest of our gardening community. I know that Nikki from the OCDish Chick, she placed up her video. Miss Linda from the New Orleans Gardener has placed up her video. GT Jr. was showing him doing some new garden beds, and his new garden bed looks amazing. Hands in the Dirt was showing what he's going to do. Faith Family Homestead is showing what she's doing, as well as Black's Tropical Homestead. You know, they always have something growing on there in Savannah. So it is a lot of videos that we can watch right now and get some inspiration and some ideas. And it's a variety of grow zones. So that's what I love. I love that there are so many different grow zones. So if you are not in zone 8A Georgia like I am, maybe you are in the grow zone with Nikki. Maybe you're in the grow zone with Hands in the Dirt. Maybe you're in the grow zone with At Home with Cherie or GT Jr. Maybe you're even in the grow zone with the Brassica King and Queen, Cheryl from Back to Our Roots, her and her husband. But right now, what I want to bring to you is my plan for my 2023 spring garden. So I went ahead, and you guys have seen my garden layout. I always have to remind myself and sometimes our community that, guys, if you are the only one that's working your garden, do not expand your garden beyond reason or beyond your time, beyond your energy, because sometimes we can get so excited about the spring season and we get our Baker Creek books in the mail, we get our botanical interest books in the mail, we get our Dixondale Farm newsletters and Haas Tools emails, and Ison's just sent out some emails about gourmet berries. And I was just staring like, I gotta have it. I'm not buying that. I'm not adding another thing, but sometimes we can just get so excited about the upcoming season and we begin to plan and plant way more than we can handle. I noticed last spring, I saw some different gardeners, and they were exhausted. They had planted so much and it looked so amazing while it was in their garden. But when it was time to harvest it, they didn't have the energy because they were one person. And I've even seen some of those same gardeners expanding their garden this year. So we just have to really be mindful. I always have extra ideas for what I want to plant, but I have to be mindful that I'm just one person. Yes, every now and again, you'll be able to get someone over here and they'll harvest things for themselves. But in the end, if you have tomatoes coming in all at once, while you have carrots and brassicas and you have fruit trees that are bearing, and then you have weeds popping up and you need fertilizer, 511, you need your plants to be watered. If you have all of this going on all at once and you're one person, you can get overwhelmed. So that's just my little public service announcement for 2023. But to go over my planting guide for 2023 and give you guys an idea of what I'm going to do. So as I told you before, here in Georgia Zone 8A, and you'll hear me say that a lot. So if you do not know your grow zone, what I want you to do is go online, put in your city and your state, and say, what is my grow zone? And it will pop up and tell you what your grow zone is. So again, I am Georgia, Zone 8A. And those zones tell you what you can grow and what time you can grow. So our last projected frost date is March 6th here. And so for me, you guys know, if you saw my part 2 of my spring garden prep, that I planted my peppers indoors in my garage on January the 18th. Today is January the 20th, so just 2 days later. And of course, I don't have an automatic grow light, so I've been turning it on and off, which is not a big deal. And if you remember, I planted the rainforest chili pepper, the roulette heatless habanero, the Lola banana pepper, not a pino. And I believe I planted one more out there. Oh, bell pepper. I planted a chocolate bell. And then I planted those strawberry spinach. Again, I had dropped those seeds one time before and they did not germinate. And I knew that it was operator error because spinach is very hard to germinate. If you watch Growing Out the Box, he will show you some of his tricks of the trade that he uses in his part of Georgia to be able to get his spinach to germinate. So for me, what I'm going to direct sow outside, starting in March, last year, this is the seed that I planted. That was the cherry tomato that I planted. And you guys know that I have my tomato experiment going on outside. And so I'm hoping that they come back and that way I can use those seedlings. But in the event that they don't, this is the tomato that I will be planting. It's a cherry tomato. It's determinate, Italian heirloom, famous for sun drying, small 1 to 2 ounce grape-shaped fruit and very dry fleshed. So for me, I take the entire cherry tomato, I wash it up, and I freeze them. I freeze them, and when I'm ready to make sauces and salsas, that is what I do. I can just pull the entire bag. I wait till I get a full bag. Once I get that full bag, I pull them out and then I can up the sauce and the salsa. And it'll amaze you. Like for me, my family is steady shrinking as far as who lives in my home because my kids are growing up and, leaving the house, getting their own careers. But I still can a lot of tomato products. And reason being is the salsa, the tomato sauce, all that can really enhance a lot of different dishes, especially on Meatless Monday. I'm able to make a quick ravioli. I'm able to make a chili sauce. I'm able to make a soup and I just add one of those cans of salsas into the soup and it just gives a burst of tomato, garlic, basil flavor. And I do put onions in there as well. And it is majority those 4 ingredients: tomatoes, onions, garlic, and basil is what I put in that roasted tomato salsa. And I can it up and it's great. So this year I am going to plant tomatillos again, but I'm going to plant them in a different area and I'm going to stake up the plant as soon as it gets true leaves. Last year I did not do that and you guys noticed that I had a tomato mess going on. So this is the tomatillo that I will be planting this year. And it is 60 days to maturity. It is a citrusy yellow color, pointed shape, and remarkable sweet tart flavor makes this tomatillo stand out in the pack. The fruit grows up to 4 inches long, and the flavor is more like a sweet paste tomato mixed with a husk cherry. So if you don't know what a husk cherry is, a lot of us, we grow them. They are ground cherries or pineapple cherries or Aunt Molly's ground cherries. So quite a few of us grow them because they are great garden snacks. For me, I'm not going to drop a seed for ground cherries this year because ground cherries have a habit of coming back. So I'm going to wait it out and see if it pops back up in the garden. And wherever it pops up in the garden, I will let it grow because I do enjoy eating them while I'm out in the garden. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the basil that I'm going to plant. So this is the basil. You might have saw it on the New Orleans Gardener channel. The lettuce leaf basil. It is a huge 3-inch to 5-inch leaf. It's a Japanese basil with great flavor. It's an annual. It may be sown in place in long summer areas or started indoors and set out after last frost date of spring. So, oh, and it also says keeping flower spikes picked off in early summer will allow the plants to grow more quickly. So this is one that I will start in my arrow garden, and that is because, as you can see behind me, I always have some type of herbs growing in my arrow garden. So I will be starting this very soon because I have some agastache that I'm going to take out, put into a pot, and take it upstairs and put it in my office. So this will get started sooner, and then I will also drop some seeds outside in my garden because I do like to have basil outside. I like to have it where my tomatoes are. And basil tends to have a strong scent. At least, let me show you which one. That beautiful, beautiful cardinal basil. Oh, so the cardinal basil, I actually grow this and I put it in my flower arrangements. But also the scent can detract some bugs. And then here's another basil, black opal, purple basil. I won't be dropping any cinnamon basil this year, but I will drop the lemon basil as well as the Genovese basil. I still, of course, have basil dried basil in my kitchen that I use, but I love to have basil in the garden. Okay, and then I also have on my list my cucumbers that I'm going to drop. So I'm going to drop the Muncher cucumber. I have quite a few pickles that I still have left over, but I do like to have cucumbers in the garden for fresh eating, for detox water, for smoothies. I like to take them to the farmer's market. My grandnieces and nephews absolutely love cucumbers, so I like to grow them so that they can have their time in the garden and be able to pick. And this one is a high quality slicing variety. It is a standout for its early maturity. It's bitter free and attractive, bright green glossy fruit, 7 to 14 days to germinate. The seed spacing and all that, I don't really pay attention to that because I'm not a farmer. I'm a gardener. So I don't have acres and acres and acres, so I don't have to worry about that seed spacing. But another one I'm going to drop this year is the Armenian cucumber. I got some seeds from GT Jr. last year. He gave me these some seeds similar to this as well as another type of cucumber. But I used those seeds up last year because I grew those as well as the Richmond green apple, which I don't think I will grow this year again. I'm just going to grow these two types of cucumbers this year, and I will use some because I have a lot of pickle spears still left, but I really do like sandwich sliced cucumbers. When you make those into pickles, I like them into the rounds, so I need to do more of that this year. And one that I do not have on my list is carrots. So we all know that carrots come in so many different shapes and colors, sizes. And Baker Creek absolutely loves giving out carrots for its free seed. But I am constantly dropping carrots because, as crazy as it sounds, I know some people don't focus on their animals like I focus on mine. But my dogs like carrots. So between me and them eating carrots, me eating carrots in my salad and in my soups, and in my stews, as well as juicing them. They just like carrots as a snack. And so I pull them out of the garden. They don't even wait on me to rinse them off, but I do rinse them off using my rain barrels outside. And they sit out there and they hang out and they eat them. And it's not something that will hurt a dog. Between the pumpkin, the North Georgia Candy Roaster, and the carrots, none of those items will hurt your dog. So you can actually feed them if you really need to kind of cut back on dog food. That is a great way to be able to supplement your pet food. So guys, that is it for me. Please, please, please put up a video and let me know what you have growing on right now, still in your winter garden, as well as what you are sowing and growing for spring 2023. We know that the time will roll around so fast. So what I learned from growing out the box last year is make a plan, Shaka. Make a plan, make a plan, make a plan. He kept preaching that to me in my comments last year. He was like, you need to make a plan, because I was just out there sowing. And then I would get things that would be too tall in one area and then something else being shaded out. So this year I decided to make a better plan than I did last year. Kind of drawing it out, going back outside, checking out my area. Even if you're growing in containers, you still need to make a plan, because you need to place your containers in certain spots. So guys, that's it for now. Remember, as always, get up, get out, and grow something, and have faith in our food. I'll see you the next time.